Back when I was in a Bible college, my Greek professor told us this amazing story one day about how he had been out on the countryside and he watched a flock of sheep out on the mountainside there. And after a few minutes, another guy showed up with a flock of sheep and another one showed up. And these three shepherds get together, they start talking together, and all the sheep start mingling together. And he starts thinking, man, this is amazing. I've never had a chance to see this. How will these guys separate all these sheep that have started mingling together and walking together in the same pasture? And the answer was surprisingly simple. When the guys' conversation was done, they walked off and one simply said, "Come on," or whatever his voice is. And because his sheep knew his voice, they followed him. They didn't have to go through and sort them out together. He just said, "Hey, come on," and they followed him. And the sheep followed him because they knew his voice. And maybe you're thinking or seeing the illustration already that Jesus told us that exact same thing in John 10:27, where he says, "My sheep follow me. They know my voice." And that's a great thing for us to think about today, is hearing God's voice, because there's so many noises that go on around us. But you may have even asked in the past before, how do I hear God's voice? Well, we hear it by reading His Word. Now, if you want to take that as your principle for the Devo today, feel free to do it. Read your Bible more often. But what the clearer point I would like to make for you is that we know His voice better by listening for His voice, hearing it through His Word. This is more about applying what we would hear, following the way He's given us, as opposed to just reading the Scripture. So I hope you'll take one of those two charges with you this week. One, either spend some more time reading and hearing His voice, or spend some time obeying His voice, because that's what sheep do. They follow and they obey the voice of their master.